welcome back to Gamer Behind the Rose, Werewolf the Forsaken, Blood in the Soil campaign. We are on episode 4. I want to dive into the action as soon as possible, so I'm going to do quick introductions and set a few rules, and then we'll get in. So, Jeremy, who are you? Who are you playing?
I'm Jeremy, and I'm playing Spooky the Blood Talon Rahu.
Thank you. Sarah, who are you, and who is your character?
I am Chloe, and I am playing an Elodeth Ironmaster.
Awesome. Dennis, who are you?
Hey, I'm Dennis. I play Jim Masters. He is a Bone Shadow Cahalith, and plays game for real.
Nice. John, what about you?
My name is John, and I am playing James Larson. He's an Iraka Ironmaster.
Okay. And Ender.
I'm Ender Astreus. I'm playing the character Uncle Ben, who is a Eldoth Hunter in Darkness.
Nice. And I am David Fuller. I will be the storyteller for this session. All of the Gamer Behind the Rose games makes use of the Monty Cook consented gaming form. What that means is the content you will not see today will not involve torture to fingernails or eyes. So any detailed damage to that will not be detailed. And explicit sex scenes. Sex scenes will be fade to black if they happen. Okay, other than that, everything else is on the table. So, where we last left our heroes, they had just murdered a bunch of scientists and soldiers.
Like heroes.
Like heroes. And we're in the process of interrogating the manager of the operation. I believe we discussed before game. I believe Spooky is doing the primary interrogation.
Anyone want to give me some teamwork assistance?
Yeah.
Sure, I could definitely do that.
Cool. So anyone that wants to help him out, roll the appropriate pool, which is probably presence or manipulation intimidation.
Luckily, I have some of that.
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
You get a 1 from me. 1 success.
Yeah, also for me.
I'll take it.
Okay, there you go. I've already approved your specialty in possible sociopath.
Eight successes.
Whoa!
Inspired?
You are inspired. Okay, so go ahead and remind me what the questions are the group wants. I've already got answers ready. You've scared the crap out of this guy, so he'll speak.
Yeah, Spooky's here just to make sure he's compliant. He's not the brains behind what needs to be figured out.
Okay, anyone want to remind me what questions you're asking?
The first one was, what'll happen if we snap the gates into itty bitty little pieces?
The government will lose money. We don't. As far as we're aware, nothing will happen. They arrive on the sites in pieces.
One of the other questions was, how did they find out about this place?
There's nothing particularly special about this place. It, like the warehouse?
I believe it was the fact that this is a thin spot.
There's people that scout ahead and give recommended areas for us to set up camp.
Okay. Let's see here. One of the other questions was how they learned to build them, the gates.
From my understanding, It's above my pay grade, but from my understanding, various scientists working for the government and allied governments received a variety of visions, and it taught them how to make the different gates.
Did they know where those visions came from?
No, but I mean, if you would have stopped to talk to the scientists before you shredded them, they could have maybe told you. I'm a manager. Scientists think of crazy things, and then they turn them into inventions and get rich.
Fairly certain nobody's getting rich off of this.
Didn't we prevent one of the scientists from getting ripped to shreds?
We can say that there's one that's just injured.
Okay.
That you could like slap away.
We'll get to that one in a second. There was another question that was on our list, which was, has anything concerning gotten out?
The most concerning locally is the old man that's up at the graveyard. He came walking out of the gate, and he points to the gate that you guys aren't sure what sort of energy is there. It doesn't seem death or spirit. He just walked out of that gate. He just looked like a normal old man. He looked at one of the older scientists we had. The scientist dropped dead. The guards pulled guns on him. They couldn't bring themselves to fire on him. He just walked out. There was nothing we could do to contain him. We filed a report up on high, and they said that he will most likely find his local purpose and to just monitor him. And sure enough, within like a day, he walked to the graveyard and he just walks around the graveyard, as far as we know, talking to the graves.
Said locally, where are other facilities?
I know there's at least one outside of Chicago. I know there's a big one over in Colorado. We're scattered everywhere, man.
You also said you couldn't contain him. Did anything come out that you did contain?
Yeah. Like
where?
He just like various jars and cages that have the jars all have dead things, and it's strange because like you go and you look at these like big like jars of formaldehyde that you've seen in various like spoopy shows and movies, and you're like, okay, there's gonna be like a heart or something like, and instead there's like one of them has a little baby cherub, except the wings are made out of metal, and like there's cables coming out of parts of its head, and you can see a hole in its neck where there's like clock gears. And it's just weird stuff like that, like tiny little things that, if you had to put a word on it, little cyborgs. None of them would be confused for human or normal animal. And then in the cages are a few of those that are alive. Like there's a dog that all of its fur is made out of metal, that's just like sitting in a cage. There's a cat that clearly has like old-fashioned cameras coming out of its eyes, like camera lens. Yeah. And he's like, all the weird stuff, like the really weird stuff, came out of that gate. Like, trust us, the right parts of the government have tons of files on the things that come out of the other gates. It doesn't mean we know how to master them or control them, but that's the weird gate.
What the hell? Okay. Anybody
Agreed.
else have any questions for them?
Anything come out of any of the gates that has a penchant for punching holes in chests about yay big and leaving behind awful smelling black residue?
No. He seems, in his like fear that's been instilled by Spooky and all of you killing all of his coworkers and stuff, he has a moment of genuine like confusion, Like that was a very specific question, and I won't even give you an empathy check. Like, it's like, no, like that's very specific, and no.
Anything else?
Not for this guy. I would like to log my attempt to see if the mechanical cyborg dog responds like a normal dog would to animal handling and or my nature power.
You can try. So go ahead and do a presence animal can. Who's a good dog?
2 successes.
It like you hear it as it like perks up its ears, and, like looks up.
It actually does. Right then. The other test is if I can get it to Packkin bond with the, or actually I'll try just Beast Talker at the moment. I'll just ask it, do you understand me in using Beast Talker?
Yep. So you guys hear him go like kind of burp, bark, 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 bark. And Ender, make a resolve plus composure check.
Oh, fun. Resolve composure 5. Four successes.
Okay. You do not get the stunned condition. So the dog talks back, but it is painful to listen to it. It is speaking the purest form of dog speak. It is speaking the way original dogs speak, the soul of how dogs talk.
Okay.
Its voice is the purest dog voice that ever dogged.
So beautiful it hurts.
It hurts. It hurts. Like you can get out the meaning of the words, and so like you ask, like, do you understand me? And the meaning seems to be like yes, but yes with pure condescension. Like going up to a math professor and going, do you understand like arithmetic? And the math professor going, yes.
I have no answers to this other than that's weird. Okay.
Safely engaged right now.
That's not better. Anybody else have anything? Otherwise, we can turn most of this over to the locals.
Are we done?
Did you guys say you also had a scientist you wanted to talk to?
Yeah, there is a scientist if we want to.
Thank you, packmate that's far away. I feel like I'm just going to forget something.
Yes.
Okay. You can find the scientist that's still alive. He does not have working legs at the moment, but he has working mouth and ears, and that's what you need. Okay. I won't even make you make an intimidation check. He is in no state to resist. So if you ask something, he will just answer it because maybe, just maybe, you will let him live or put him out of his misery if he answers your questions. So what questions do you have for Mr. Science Man?
Dennis, as our occulty person, do you have some questions for him? Otherwise, I'm just going to start asking some strange questions on the other character. So,
where does that portal go?
It goes. It goes to a giant machine. the other two portals go to copies of the real world, like in that one Netflix show. But this one just goes to a giant machine. It is so high you can't see the top of it. As far as we can tell, it goes on practically forever. And the machine is maintained by creatures of all shapes and sizes. And the scientist makes a weak nod towards the cages with the dog and the cat. It's like everything from that to things, I could best describe them as angels, giant angels, something out of Dante.
How did you discover these? What is the nature of your insight, your visions into this?
The scientists that received the visions, it wasn't anybody here. Scientists who received the visions received them through voices and dreams. To the best of my understanding, all three of them are being kept in secret government psychiatric facilities, separate from each other, so that their ramblings can be monitored. And that's just the rumor among the other scientists. We learned very quickly that you want to be useful and creative, but you don't want to let people know if you have anything that might be considered abnormal. Keep those thoughts to yourself. So yeah, I couldn't tell you, even if I wanted to, where those three scientists are now, but I'm sure they're still alive.
Anybody else have questions for the scientist?
Yes. How did you capture most of these when they came out of the portal?
They all seem to serve a purpose. And if that purpose doesn't immediately take them outside of the building, like some of the other ones that came through that portal, we can manage to capture them. The canine one seemed, this is going to sound crazy, but its purpose seemed to be the best dog. It was exactly what you think of when you think of a dog, in every way. If anybody made a comment about how, like, they expect dogs that size to have more energy, all of a sudden it would overhear, and then it would have more energy. If they expected a dog that size to be able to roll over, it would roll over. So that was easy to put into a cage. In fact, it was let out of its cage half the time because it just seemed to be a dog. The cat with the camera eyes, its purpose seems to be to observe. And so it just always stares. And if you get its attention, it just stares at you. It wasn't hard at all to put it in a cage because it just stares at everything. And we hear strange mechanical whirring inside of its head, like there's little film reels, little tapes recording. But of course, that's impossible because it's been out of that portal for over a week now, and it's been doing it nonstop. It surely can't record all of that. In a couple months, we probably would have tried to dissect it to figure out what's inside it.
Okay, then. Does anybody have any objections if we actually just ask the cat what its purpose is? Anyone? No?
Can
No.
it
Seems
communicate that?
reasonable.
That's a good question. That's why I'm going to go ask. I go ask the cat.
Okay, make a resolve plus composure check.
This is going to keep happening.
It will.
2 successes.
Okay. Just like with the dog, it is painful to listen to this cat.
Okay.
The cat seems to be speaking the original language of cat. So what specific question do you ask it?
I will ask it, what is your purpose?
To record all.
Do you know where your recordings go?
Yes.
Will you tell me where it goes?
No.
Okay, then. That's enough for the cat.
We done with questioning the people?
I think so.
And the animals.
Okay. I will thank the scientist for his cooperation and put him out of his misery.
Okay.
I will also kill the manager, but I will be less polite about it.
Okay, fair. Okay, and then hand it off to the locals.
The herd must not know.
Fair enough.
We should definitely hand it off to locals. We'll fill the locals into what we know of these mechanical creatures now, and then I will warn them as far as the dog is concerned that it'll be the best dog. I would suggest either keeping an eye on it or whatever else you'd want to do with it at that point.
Okay. Cool. The locals remember what they promised to do for you. So the different locals that have more rights and various gifts asked to see that sample that you've collected. They do a variety of gifts and rights that you do not have available or did not think to use. And basically a collection of divination things you haven't unlocked yet. Yay. And they seem confused. First off, they all have kind of the wrinkling their nose repulsion from something not right about this. And then after doing their various divination, they all agree, whatever this is came from a child of something else. We don't know its normal form. We can just sense everything, the spirits, everything are telling us this is residue from a child, possibly an irresponsible child of something larger and older.
That bodes very ill.
Sorry, we do not have more. But as we were not able to be as helpful as we would have liked, and you have been very helpful, if you run into whatever this thing's parent is and you need help, send a spirit and we will get to your farm as fast as we can. And all three packs,
appreciate it.
all three of the packs agree to that. So basically, if you guys have prep time, because it is like a 45-minute hour drive, if you have prep time for a big fight, you can call these allies. So for big, fantastic anime boss battle.
That's a big if.
If you have prep.
Large if.
Okay. Other than that, are you guys going to start heading back towards the farm?
I think we're done
I
here.
think so.
I think so, yeah.
Cool. Okay, so you guys are heading back to the farm. Chloe is sitting at home, probably looking at her phone after getting off her call with Logan. And we'll say to get all the stuff you got out of him, it was like an hour and a half long call. So you've been off the call for a while. Like, this is just dramatic time editing.
Mm-hmm.
But you see a news pop up, Chloe, and you guys hear a radio thing. The Walmart Supercenter in Atlantic, Iowa has collapsed. Emergency response crews are on the scene. There have been some survivors confirmed. We do not have more details at this time. This is a developing story. Does anyone either pull up a map or want to do some sort of knowledge check to know the geography?
I was just about to, out of character, ask how far away that was.
It's pretty far. It's way over to the east, but whatever it is that's been doing those things the last few weeks is getting closer very slowly.
Chloe, you would have heard the news article, but you, the player, missed it last session. A bar in a town over from there, a bar fight ended in a massacre with everybody in the fight dead.
Wonderful.
And prior to that, a bank robbery ended with the people doing the robbing slaughtered, and the witnesses covered in blood and in a state of shock.
That's great.
Whatever it is clearly, like, all of you guys can look at the map and go, there is something heading east.
Do the incidents seem to be picking up in frequency, or are they fairly consistent? Like, if I printed out a map of the area and went, this is the day this happened and this is the day this happened, does it seem to be A, moving in a certain direction, and B, does it seem to be like, you know what I mean, time-wise increments?
Give me a... It's either going to be interwits, and what you are doing is you are essentially calculating how fast is the thing moving.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to give me science or academics, or is there a different skill?
I'm going to give you academics.
Cool. So give me your choice of interwits plus academics.
3 successes.
Okay. This thing is moving relatively steady.
Okay.
I'm not being like a hard SC on the passage of time. So I'm not going to say like exactly it happened once every day and a half. But at the rate it is going, and the direction it's going, you think it's going to pass through northern Des Moines, the northern Des Moines Ankeny area, in a couple weeks.
Okay.
If it kept at that path, it would be in the greater general area of your farm. So kind of the eastern Iowa farmland, north of Iowa City, south of Cedar Rapids, about a week or two after Des Moines.
Okay.
So in theory, it would get to your farm in like an in-game month.
Did you say that there was a pack in Des Moines?
There are many packs in Des Moines, but you are not intimately aware of any of them.
Okay.
Like your characters, since becoming Forsaken, haven't then went to Des Moines to be like, hi.
Right. We haven't exchanged phone numbers and,
Also,
MySpace accounts.
Jim had a dream about the bar incident, at least, so...
Yeah. And you probably would have heard, because he shared with the pack, Jim had a dream about the bar before you guys were aware it happened. So he was probably dreaming about it as it happened or shortly after it happened.
Okay. I'm just going to, start a conspiracy board with my red yarn and play around with that while you guys are gone.
Do it. Okay. So we will fast forward to you guys getting back to the farm. And you guys have met up. Your mechanic is he'll be busy this session, still working on the big farm tank thing. But you guys are all together, we'll say in the barn. Brought to you by Duncan's.
Yeah, and Chloe's in the barn with like a pushpin board and some maps and some red string.
She's got an old style fold-out map. Old style, my God. Old style fold-out map of Iowa. And she's got push pins of where the events happened. And then she's got like a pin in Des Moines and like a pin at the farm. And she's got strings following. And it's more or less a straight-ish path.
When did this turn into a scene from Dick Tracy?
We haven't been gone that long, have we?
Long enough. It was that or go hunt things with, and she points to the harpy eagle up in the rafters. And I figured this was a bit more productive, I guess.
Hunting is always productive.
Hunting is always productive, but this is a little more concerning. Did you guys see the report? And she'll like pull it up on her phone.
Wasn't that was on the radio, right? Wasn't it
It's
as
on the
well?
radio. By the
Okay.
time you've met back up, the report's been updated. Most of the people that were in it survived with various level of injuries. There was approximately 6 or 7 people that did die.
Yeah, that was on the radio when we were driving back. How does a building just collapse?
Yeah.
How does a bar fight suddenly lead to everybody dying?
Okay,
That I
one-
have a better answer.
Right, I can answer that one.
Oh yeah, how does an
Lots of
elementary
broken
school
glass.
explode?
It didn't explode, it caught fire.
I think that's more of mincing of words there, Spooky. The fact is, the elementary school is no longer usable at the moment.
But
I blame the rat host.
it
Always
really
blame
is.
the rats.
It is the red host's fault.
All right. Well, when I saw the news report after the dream that Jim had, I got to thinking that if there's something specific behind all of these violent and strange events, then there's a chance that it's consistent. And she will point to her conspiracy board and be like, if you take all of the places where incidents like this have occurred, the elementary school excluded, we can draw a pretty straight line through all of the events. And the spacing between them time-wise is pretty consistent.
I would like to do some research and see if there's anything from further west outside of the state that follows that line to see if this thing maybe started in Iowa or if it came from somewhere else, and if so, where.
I was going to propose that exact same thing. I'm going to be like pulling up my phone and Googling to see if anything else has happened.
Teamwork.
Research team, go.
We're now in a thing where we're all researching books and the internet. Okay, so technically this is an extended check, but you guys have good time management and you're all working together. Would you rather assist one person or all do your own checks? Here's the thing. If you all do your own checks, you can choose like exactly what it is. So you could be like presence plus a cult to ask spirits what they know, academics plus int to read books, int plus computer to type. Like, would you rather all do individual or all help one person?
I mean, my roll's going to be better if we do individual.
I think that's how it'll be for everybody.
Okay.
I will end up trying my hand at my own thing, but while everybody else is doing the big amount of research, I'm going to give everyone drinks and other things because it's not the kind of research I do.
Oh, you're going to buff people?
Try to give them stuff to focus and otherwise.
Okay, tell me what you're giving them.
Let's see here. Coffee for those who need it, and otherwise beers for those who also need it.
Yeah, fantastic. Remember, people that are not familiar with Chronicles of Darkness 2.0, it highly, highly encourages you to cheese the crap out of equipment. And it considers equipment like a cup of coffee after a long night, or your computer. So like, Dennis, have we settled on what equipment bonus your computer's giving you? Is it a 2? Is it a 3?
I don't know that we ever decided on that.
Do you have resources?
Nope.
Okay, then let's say it's a 2. The family got it for you. Okay?
All right.
Anybody who takes 1 coffee or 1 beer gets a +1. It's either helping you focus or helping you relax. And then anyone who's using like books get a 1 or a 2. If you have a specific library, you get the bonuses for that. So I'm going to go around. You tell me the pool you're doing, and then you do the roll, and then I will give results after we go around. So Jeremy, what pool?
Another thing I would like to have done to help us is we have a knowledge spirit, and it has influence knowledge.
It does.
So,
Having it use its influence to make us better at this would be
strengthen?
Yep, it can use strengthen. Trying to remember, is that a rank 2 or a rank 3?
I believe that spirit was rank 3.
I think it is rank 3. So,
And this is why I bought it.
Yes. It's a good idea. Okay. I'm on the spirit section. Influences. Rank 3. Okay. Control. Okay. So it's gonna do a check. It gets its power plus finesse. And you guys are not resisting it trying to buff your knowledge?
Nope.
Okay, cool. So it is the knowledge spirit. Book spirit. Okay. So it has 11 dice to buff you guys. 9, 10, 11. Okay. For the next day, have a +3 on knowledge-related checks. Basically, the book spirit just kind of like flips its pages around, and you like see words come off the page, and it just enters your mind, and you're able to focus on thinking better for the next 24 hours. So,
That's not disturbing at all.
he's a member of your pack, or it is a member of your pack. So, Jeremy, with all of that in mind, what is your pool consisting of?
Skip me, because Spooky's not great at researching things on his
That's
own.
fair.
But if a pool shows up he thinks he can help with, I'll assist with that.
Okay. How is Chloe going to research this?
Chloe's just going to use Wits Academics while chugging 1 or 2 coffees. Also, she'll be using her smartphone. Can I get an equipment bonus from that too?
Absolutely. A smartphone is the equivalent of having a laptop with you. So I'll give you a +2 on that. So you get +2 for that, 1 for coffee, and then 3 from the knowledge spirit, plus your int plus your wits plus academics.
Woot.
The big old pool. So go ahead and roll that. I'll get results in a minute. What is James Larson doing?
He's going to be using his computer skills to just kind of research where events similar to this might have happened.
And you don't have research yet either, right?
I do not.
Okay, so you also have a 2.
Okay.
You got it from the family for Christmas. There was a time when Mom and Pa went to the Best Buy, and they were having a sale on laptops. So you have 1 for drinking a coffee or a beer, 2 for that, 3 for your spirit, and then your int plus computers.
Okay.
Okay. And Uncle Ben was just helping people out. Okay, so Jim Masters, I'm assuming you're doing something very similar to James.
Actually, I'm doing the same thing as Chloe.
Oh, okay. Cool. Okay, so go ahead and make your checks.
Uh, 5 successes on the first roll.
Nice.
So I'll take informed.
You should. Good job. How'd Chloe do on the first roll?
6.
Nice. How'd James do on take a positive condition. I recommend informed.
I literally had 13 dice, David, and got no successes. So I'm going to go ahead and take a dramatic failure.
It happens.
That was ridiculous.
I'll get to you in a second. Okay. Jim and Chloe get to make me one more roll, assuming they don't pull a James and roll nothing.
Way to jinx us.
Jeez.
No, I'm kidding. I got some.
3 successes. I will spend the informed up it to an exceptional.
Fantastic. You're done. How'd Chloe do?
4 successes.
Spend the informed to make it an
One
exceptional.
exceptional. Yep.
Cool. So you 2 are done. Okay, so the results you all get. Okay. I'll start with the botch first. Okay. Nope. This thing just appeared in Iowa. Like just when the first event happened. There is no record of this anywhere. It is a phenomenon just tied to Iowa. Must be something about Iowa soil, Iowa spirits. There's something about Iowa that is specific. This creature is tied to Iowa.
It's
All
the
right.
corn.
The corn.
Maybe the soybeans. Who knows?
The hogwash. Okay, so for the people that actually seceded, yes, this thing, it almost always hits smaller towns. It's just that it's been getting messier, maybe a little bolder, which is why its things have been hitting the news. Prior to that, it was going through Nebraska, doing small towns. Like everybody in a gas station would turn up dead. Or a bus in a small town would be going down the highway and all of a sudden it's knocked over. Seemingly nothing was there. And you follow it back and then you follow it down. And eventually it leads you down to Houston. The very, very first thing you find is from several years ago, a restaurant just outside of NASA had a man seemingly explode inside of a bathroom stall. And it's very clear, to make James not feel so bad, it's very clear that the things that were bigger, such as a man exploding in a stall, it's very clear that that was shoved down. So the supernaturals in the area aren't all just being slobs. Like there were efforts taken. I don't know if there's a spoiler command on Twitch. If somebody knows, go ahead and let them know. But there were efforts. So like the Houston thing, you found that on like a dark web chat forum that was printed out. Like it's not just common news.
Okay.
But yeah, this thing is not just from Iowa, and it's been around for a while.
I don't feel bad, David, because I missed it, and I am convinced that I'm right here. Everybody else is still researching, and I'm down there writing like corn ? Soybean ? On like some notes and sticking them on that board.
Oh my gosh.
All right, hear me out. We know that the thing that killed the rat was a child of something, and corn is an evil. So children of the corn.
Wow. You waited a whole month to make that joke again. I'm so proud of you.
It's cracked wide open.
It just makes sense with the evidence we have.
Okay. So what do you do once your research is done? We'll say that took that thing took you like half a day. So we'll say it's like lunchtime or something.
Okay.
But
Chloe's gonna go back into the house and she's gonna get a bottle of whiskey. She's gonna go back to the bar and she's gonna just open it and take a swig and set it on the table and then go back to her map and start putting in new push pins. And she's gonna run out of space because I don't have a map of the US. I got a map of like maybe Iowa and a few other states. Nothing crazy. So she'll eventually run out of space, but she's gonna start plotting everything else.
So while they're doing that over this about half day, as I'm helping and getting them stuff, David, I would like to pull on my contacts, specifically the survivalists in the area. I'm wanting to put my ear to the ground as far as anything that's cropped up on their radar, more close to home.
okay. Things are close to home. Okay. People have reported that loved ones traveling east of Iowa City have not been making it to their destination.
Like they're getting sidelined on the side of the road, or like they're actually just disappearing.
Disappearing. People aren't finding their cars. People will see them, like they'll stop visit friends in Iowa City, and then they will keep going. And they won't make it to their destination. They won't make it to Chicago. They won't make it to Indianapolis. The various destinations they're going to. So somewhere between Iowa City and something east, they're vanishing.
Okay, that's a concerning bit.
Would you like to give me a remembering things roll?
Sure, why not?
Which I want to say is like int plus wits, right?
Int composure.
Oh, yep, int composure. It's one of the weird ones where you roll 2 attributes.
Well, that's 5 successes, so that's an exceptional. I'll take the informed.
Fantastic. Okay. So when the group went, well, okay, wait. So you weren't with the group that went to Eli.
No, but they did mention things occasionally over the course of time since then.
Okay. Unless the group's like, no, we would not have mentioned that tracks went to Eli and to West Branch. I'm seeing no objections. Okay. So they saw that outside of Iowa City, that there's Becheloux that came from Eli and Becheloux that came from West Branch. West Branch is directly east of Iowa City, and they did not follow up on that.
And just as a reminder for me, we determined that there was is that Iowa City's pure territory, or
Iowa
was
City's
that
pure territory? Yes, 100%. You don't want to go to Iowa City and just dance around.
Maybe you don't.
Okay. I will go ahead and share that to them that there does appear to be more activity east of Iowa City. You know, even though we definitely say that is the Pure's problem. There are additional issues being noticed out there. And then I will also, since that won't take too much time, would be to check in with the business person that we have in town to see what they've dug up, because I know that Chloe has more about the Fresh Start thing, since we know Chloe had already tasked them to get that started.
Okay. Yeah, Fresh Start has been mostly focusing on the farm south of the Smith farm. That farm is having problems with their livestock. Their livestock has been catching a lot of diseases lately, and they're not doing very well financially. And so Fresh Start's really been talking to them about opening up the possibility of selling their farmland. Now, I will give you the most likely people they would sell the farmland to are the Smiths. Because if you guys aren't going to budge on selling your land, that's a way for the Smiths to gain power without having to fight you.
Unacceptable.
Well, and let's not forget that our goal is to also expand our farmland. So
that would be even harder, because then you'd have another farm that has doubled up. Because if you remember, the farm that is to the west of the Smiths recently ate the farm to the west of them. So you are starting to slowly get surrounded by farms that are expanding.
Okay.
Get on your Civ game.
Listen here. My Civ game is strong. Do not start with me.
Fair enough. Okay. So that's what you get from calling your packmate and from calling your contacts. And technically, Westbrook is not the Pure's problem. The Pure claim Iowa City. This is a small town that happens to be west of Iowa City, or east.
But it's close enough that if we interacted with it, there's a chance.
There is a
to
chance.
them.
There's a chance. Something to keep in mind.
And I mean, it's not like we have anything else to do right now, or any other problems to worry about. So,
Does anyone ask her about the strange phone call she got?
I was gonna bring it up once they were done with their research.
We do have several problems that we're working on at the moment. So,
Sarcasm. I know. And I hate to add another one to the list, but
go ahead.
So remind me, David, what city he in?
Cedar Falls.
Cedar Falls, okay. So there is a guy that I know in Cedar Falls who is part of the pack that's out there. He has been having some really weird problems. Apparently, according to what he said, he will kind of be minding his own business and then he almost blacks out. He picks up, it's like he's in a sacred hunt and he knows like who his targets are and where they are, but he doesn't know why he's hunting them. And then he fulfills the hunt. Like the last time he called me, he was in a building he didn't recognize, surrounded by dead bodies and covered in blood, and really didn't know how he got there.
Been there. How do you know this person?
It doesn't really matter.
I mean, they called you and they have a pack. It just seems weird.
Because they're a pussy and they're a coward and they don't want their pack to know that they might be crazy. That's why they called me.
I mean, that kind of answers the question. Okay, do we just want to, I don't know, tie him up and see what happens?
I don't know.
Chain him down? Because still werewolf.
I'm not necessarily saying that this is our problem, but if something is happening that is affecting a werewolf that's not too far from us, it might be wise to know what's going on in case that problem shifts, because as we've clearly seen, and she gestures to the conspiracy board, problems hardly stay in one place for long.
Do you want this problem with this person solved?
In a way that doesn't negatively impact our interactions with his pack? Yes.
Alright, that's good enough for me. We can see. We can figure out what his deal is.
Salient point. What pack is he part of?
There's only one pack you're aware of in Cedar Falls.
And we have
called uncreatively. They are called the Panthers. For those that don't know, Cedar Falls is a college town. University of Northern Iowa. Its mascot is the Panthers.
Yes. And we have worked with them occasionally in the past, but it's kind of been like hey, we have a big problem. Okay, we solved the problem. Now go away.
Yeah.
Just making sure it's the same one and not a new one. So.
Yeah.
So we have that problem to deal with. And making sure that we're all on the same page here. So we have Bechelou showing up in random places. We have your contact who thinks he's crazy.
Probably is.
We have the farm issues with the territory, and we need to address that.
Mm-hmm.
And we have this thing that's stalking around Iowa and has at one point blown somebody up in a bathroom. So there's that. And finally, we have the thing that died in our territory, which was a Beshlu, that had a thing in its chest, a hole, with some strange material that we know came from the sun of something.
Yes, the gooey space cannon.
I mean, it's possible that thing is connected to one of the other things because there are way too many uses of the word things.
Just to make sure that those are all of our current things that are on fire. Am I about accurate there?
Just not gonna let the school go, are you?
No.
I'm just gonna point out, as she takes another long draw from the bottle, that we are almost out of whiskey, so I would like to add that to the emergency list.
Oh. Give me just a moment. So turning around in the barn, going to what appears to everyone else as the supply closet for the taking care of the animals. Open that up. Open what looks like a small crate inside that. Pull out another bottle of whiskey.
Nice.
And then also 2 more.
And this is why I love my pack.
All right. Well, I'm glad that you have your priorities. You've got that fire put out.
It's the one I can solve first.
It's alcohol, David. The fire just got bigger.
That's true. All right. So where to? You've got your laundry list.
Now, this is just a thought, but if we replace our totem with an alcohol spirit and get it up to rank 4 or 5, we can get it influence up to create, and it can just print whiskey. I'm just saying.
You
Mass create.
We could also do that by just starting up a still. Which I think for us on this farm would be easier.
Way too mundane. Come on.
No, because then you convince the spirit to inhabit it.
Spirits with spirits.
And then they're spiritually empowered spirits.
Right,
we can call our brand Spirits Squared.
What we need is a 5-dot fetish with a spirit in it that lets us have mass create alcohol as an influence.
Okay.
All right.
Anyways.
So here's what I'm gonna suggest. And y'all do whatever. I would like to solve this problem in Cedar Falls first because I feel like it's the easiest to solve. And the problem with the thing that's running around from Houston and moving all over, we'll have some time with that. Also, I know that Ma and Mr. Smith are going to meet eventually, but I don't think they're doing that today. So we don't have to worry about that. And I'm not really sure how else we find the thing that stabbed the Beshlu. If you guys have other thoughts, go for it. But
go ahead, Spooky.
Let's help the friend.
Yeah, I was going to say
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say if other than making sure that we can do some other interacting with our neighbors, so that we can assuage our territory claims that we will need to deal with sooner rather than later, and those are more long form and take time. I think you're right. I think helping your friend would be important. Could help engender some additional encouragement of interaction from an ally standpoint. And I think you should lead us in solving the problem.
There you go.
Okay. Well, I will step outside and I will call Logan.
Okay.
I'll let them know that I'm going to give him a call.
Okay. Logan answers. He seems very excited to be getting a call. He's like, "Hey, are you going to come up and help?"
Yeah, we'll be there.
Okay. I'll let the pack know that I'm doing my own thing. So I'll meet you. And he says a restaurant that's just outside of Cedar Falls.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is there an occult check I can be making to have ideas about what might force someone into a sacred hunt type state?
It's pretty hard, but you can try.
Okay.
So do into cult.
Do you still get the bonus for researching stuff?
It is because it's a knowledge check. So you do have +3 dice for that. But your spirit spec will not apply.
No, I would. Would my werewolf spec that I get for being a werewolf apply?
No.
Will my werewolfiness apply to this roll?
Can I assist?
Yeah, sure.
Take another +4.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and also assist while I'm at it.
We all put our heads together.
Spooky knows occult stuff.
I mean, his name is Spooky, after all.
Yeah, you're not getting anything from me. I'll take my dramatic failure on that part. So,
Not helping, Ben.
sorry.
Alright, spend a willpower.
Okay.
Four successes.
Okay. There's legends of ancient rites and rituals performed by humans that could control werewolves.
Oh.
Humans.
Exciting.
So. Okay.
Okay, so we're all gonna pile in the car or whatever and
Yep.
head to Cedar
Head to
Falls.
Cedar Falls.
I'm going to grab some chains, whatever we have on hand at the farm.
Sounds good. You've got chains. Yep, plenty of chain. Okay, so you head up to Cedar Falls. You have no issue getting up there. You meet Logan. Logan is a Rahu Ironmaster. You meet him in a diner just outside of town. He looks like a young college student. When he sees you and your pack walk in, he stands up, wave to what table he's at.
Chloe will walk up, but will decidedly not sit directly near him or across from him.
Fair enough. Okay. So you guys are all there. He says, "Thank you for coming. It's terrible. I didn't know who to turn to, and like,
Gee, maybe your pack?
my pack. I don't want them to think that I'm losing it.
But what if you are losing it? Shouldn't they know?
Yeah, they should know. Just I don't know. I was hoping that maybe you can help me get to the bottom of it before I talk to them.
That might be harder than you think.
How long ago did this start?
It started about a month ago. I would just be going along, minding my own business, and then all of a sudden I would know that I'm in the sacred hunt. And he's speaking in like hushed tones, so like.
Yeah.
I know that I'm in the sacred hunt, and I would know where my targets are, but have no idea why I'm hunting them. Next thing you know, I'm killing the targets. I could feel the sacred hunt being fulfilled, and I'd have random dead humans. And it's always humans. It's never a sacred hunt against anything else, host spirits, anything else.
Do you know their names?
Yeah, but it never. There doesn't seem to be any connection. I killed, and I killed a man who was running in this year's election for like county supervisor. I killed the family I killed. Nobody in that family seemed particularly special. Like I looked at the names, I looked at the work. There was the mom was a school teacher on campus. The kids were just kids. The husband was a cop.
Okay, quick question. And
Yeah.
I want you to be honest with me. Did it look like you ate any of them?
I'm sorry, what?
Did it look like you ate any of them?
Oh, no. No. Just I fulfilled the hunt. I killed them.
I would like a terrible empathy check to see if he's lying.
Go for it.
I'm gonna make a not so terrible empathy check.
Ooh.
I'm just gonna call that a dramatic failure. I think he's lying.
Okay. With a dramatic failure, you are suspicious that he's given in to the cannibalism.
I have 4 successes.
He's telling the truth. He didn't eat them.
Yeah.
But Spooky should keep an eye on this one.
I'm with Spooky on this. I got absolute crap. So
Okay.
Okay. I want to really quick make a politics check to see about that guy that was running for city council, because I have a buttload of politics, and see if there's anything that kind of, I don't know, sparks anything.
Okay, go ahead. Make a politics.
That's 3 successes.
Okay. So the individual running for county supervisor, the platforms that they were operating on was to rein in religious influence on the local community. Over the past couple of years, more churches have been developed, and the university has done a poor job of keeping members of the different churches off of the campuses from kind of forcing their views.
I'm sure I've run into a lot of that given my position.
Yeah. The police officer, nothing pops up with politics.
Okay.
There's this police officer.
Okay. Well, I look at him and I'm like, how frequently does it happen?
He goes, it's been about a month and it's happened 3 times now. It doesn't seem to happen on a certain day or anything.
Okay.
I'm going to ask a very important question. Have you interacted with anyone recently in the past month that is new to your life?
And he's sitting there trying to remember. I will give him a remembering check. He goes, well, there's a new taco place that me and the pack started going to. It opened a little more than a month ago. It's actually not very far from here.
Mm-hmm.
And the stuff did happen shortly after I started going to the taco place, which is the first thing Spooky hears when he puts his headphones back on.
Is it possible that the other people in your pack are experiencing the same thing, and you all are so insecure and afraid to communicate with one another that you're all experiencing the same thing?
I mean, I suppose it's possible.
Okay.
Wouldn't know that unless you talked to them about it.
Has there been a bunch of other grisly murders in the area that have made the news?
Well, none of them get in the news as murders. Like we've made friends with enough people to cover things up, but yeah, there's been other disappearances.
So you've been covering up your own messes. How have you been doing that?
calling friends.
Okay, and those friends don't find it weird that you were calling and your pack don't seem to know anything about it?
I mean, they don't ask a lot of questions.
Okay.
How allies and contacts work, Sarah.
I mean, presuming the other pack members are experiencing the same problem, they probably just assume that everybody knows.
Okay, let me be very clear to the people sitting at this table. If that ever happens to you, I expect you to tell us, and vice versa. I will tell you if something weird like that happens. Okay? Just want to lay that out there.
Okay.
I agree wholeheartedly with Chloe in this. So,
But let's go check out the taco joint,
Okay.
I guess.
So, it takes you, like you said, not very far away. The taco joint is in a strip mall. It is difficult to find parking because you could see from inside the windows that the taco joint is very popular.
Mm-hmm.
And also, the taco joint is a small space in the strip mall, and then a large, wide space in the strip mall that was probably in the past, like, I don't know, like a Michael's or something.
Yeah.
Is devoted to some sort of church. And even though it's not a particular like day, there's a lot of people in the parking lot for it. And so he goes, yeah, this is the taco place. We can go in, we can smell if there's something in the meat. Maybe that's how they're getting us.
I don't think it's the taco place.
Project senses across. Is there anything looking peculiar on the shadow side?
Give me a perception check.
Let's do human form tiny bonus.
while they're doing that, I'm going to tell Chloe I'm going to do a circle around the area just to get a lay of the land.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
That's what I'll do.
So you're on foot?
Yep.
Okay, you're going to walk around the strip mall?
Me and the dog will go and do that.
Okay.
What is the gaunt rating here? Since that's a penalty.
Gaunt rating is...
for doing that.
It's 2.
Okay. Yeah, still got the one success.
There are a lot of loons around that church.
Oh, that's good.
All right. So it's going to take Uncle Ben a while to do a full walk around the strip mall. What does Chloe, Jim, and James do?
You said there's a lot of people like parked around the church. Are there a lot of people coming and going from that church?
No. There's probably like a service going on.
I'm gonna take the church's name and do a little investigation check and see if I can figure out anything about it, because it's probably not one I've seen before, unless it's part of a bigger organization I'm familiar with.
All right.
I had the same idea.
All right, cool. So the two of you do a check, most likely with like computer. The name of the church is Church of the New Dawn.
Well, they're rolling. What's the name of the taco place?
The most important question of the entire game.
Darn right.
El Taco Fantastico.
Most important question is, how are the tacos?
You haven't went in to test them yet. But
5
the
successes.
Local paper, gotcha.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Local college paper says they are Fantastico.
Don't assume what I haven't done, David.
And
I got a dramatic failure because I'm upgrading.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I
Okay.
got 5 successes.
Full of
on
9.
Perception of.
Jim, make me a resolve composure check. Okay. Chloe, you got 5 successes on your research.
Yes.
Are you inspired or informed?
Yes. I'm gonna be informed.
2 successes.
You do not begin to convert yourself to their faith.
Oh god.
Good!
Bad furry death machine. Bad.
That would be just a touch of a problem.
So, okay. Basically, you waste all your research time. Like, you get deep
Into their theology.
the theology of them. Like, you find their website, you find their history, and you're like, oh, this is interesting. That's a nice take. I haven't thought of that before. Oh, wait, I've wasted a lot of time just reading about their theology. Okay, Chloe. This is a relatively new church. There are a few of them scattered across the Midwest and the Northwest. And that's pretty much where they are. They've got one branch in Canada.
Okay.
And they show up, and they very much, if you had to compare them to a real world comparison, they're very similar to prosperity gospel, in that they promise that if you are faithful, that that great power will be delivered onto you, and you, with your 5 successes, notice in their language is a ton of little references to the moon and to wolves. Almost like the thing they're actually worshiping is the moon, and that if you worship the moon, you will be granted great power by the moon's children, which they believe are wolves.
That hits a little too close to home.
James, did you go in the burrito joint?
Yep, I'm gonna go have some burritos.
Okay, Logan went with you.
Tacos.
Thank God he's gone.
The tacos, and the burritos are fantastico.
Excellent.
Uncle Ben.
Yes.
God.
As I said, 5 successes on general perception and getting the lay of the area. Anything weird, interesting, or strange, I'll take inspired.
Okay, sure. Okay, on the front of the strip mall, nothing weird. You get around to the back. You go along the back. You see that there's extra parking back there, and the parking back there for the church is also full. You see a woman, late 30s, early 40s, long, pale blonde hair, wearing almost like priestly robes, is saying a prayer with some people. They don't seem to immediately notice you as you're doing a patrol with your dog.
All right. Well, I'm going to make the play like I normally do of I'm walking my dog and I'm going to snoop on what the heck's going on.
Okay. Are you going to try to be subtle about it, or are you just going to be guy walking my dog that's being rude?
I'm not going to be rude. So I would rather be guy walking dog who happens to notice something and kind of, happen to wander that direction.
Okay, so you're not really trying to
not trying to hide it, but I'm just trying to
manipulation subterfuge.
Yeah, okay. One success.
Okay. So you begin meandering. How close do you let yourself get to the conversation?
Let's see here.
Do you join their little circle?
I would only join the circle if I could make it appear as if whatever they are talking about that I catch the attention of appears interesting to me. Does that make sense?
With 1 success, you think you're able to pull that off.
Okay. So
steal the mystery cult. Yes. So you walk up to the circle, and they finish their prayer, and the woman who's clearly the priest looks over at you and goes, "Ah, another one. Make me a check for Kurith."
Oh, fun times. Okay.
So Kurith doesn't actually have a check. It's a check to not make it worse.
So what's your primal urge? 2. I want to say he has 10 minutes to run the fuck away.
That sounds about right. I'll double check it. You've
I
got
think it's
time.
5 or 10. He has time. Okay. As soon as this woman looks at you, you feel that she has utter control over the anger inside of you, and she is forcing it up.
Oh
Rude.
God.
The
Rude.
dog is like
She-
looking at you concerned, like, "Huh?"
Wait. So she
Because the dog's not
has
smelling- the dog's not smelling anything weird about this lady,
right.
but the dog can sense the anger rising inside you.
Does she literally have my auspice ability as an ability? Because that's fucked up.
Yeah, 10 minutes to not before 10 minutes before you flip out.
Okay.
Okay, you got 10 minutes. You're on the timer.
So I will go ahead and try to maintain composure.
Or, and hear me out here, give in and solve this problem immediately.
No, we're not having another elementary school incident. No.
It's what time of the day, David?
Oh God.
Like almost dinner. That's probably why the taco place was so busy.
Okay. Yeah, no, if you're gonna do that, at least wait until it's nighttime and there's fewer people here. Come on.
Like the sun's beginning to go down.
I mean, this is why we have lunacy room, right? Just so we can flip out without having to face the consequences.
Okay, so you can still control yourself completely for 10 minutes.
Okay.
So and so she's like, "What brings you here, child of the moon?" And the other people, when she says this, they bow down to you.
Oh.
She goes to reach her hands forward to like take your hands.
I will politely, as politely as possible, say, "Do not touch me."
Oh, of course. This
Who are
you
you?
has blessed us with your presence.
I want to note that Uncle Ben's look at this point is one of. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take advantage of sympathetic, which is I'm going to put myself at a disadvantage. I'm giving them leverage. I want to know more information about them, and
Okay.
I'm willing to put myself at that disadvantage of I am actually enraptured with what they're doing
Okay.
in order to push aside some doors and actually get more information out of them
Yes.
from a
Does-
social standpoint.
That's fine.
Does that prevent you from keeping track of time?
No. No.
Good question.
It's
Though.
just like you said like enraptured and shit, and I was just like,
Okay. So yeah. Okay. What sort of social check do you feel you should make?
I'm going to roll off of manipulation persuasion at this exact moment.
Go for it.
Since they appear to consider me like a deity almost, or a child of the deity, I'm going to utilize that. But also feign, I don't need to feign it. I have ignorance about what they believe and what they are doing normally. So I know that people like this like to proselytize. So I'm going to try and push for that.
Okay. Go for it. 9 minutes. You're outside of combat rounds, so.
I'm on fire today. 5 successes again. So
Nice. Okay, so what specific questions do you ask?
well, one, who is the priest? So what is their name? Start there.
I have adopted, upon ascending to priesthood, I have adopted the name of Luna, the honored name of the moon.
What
Just
did you
the
go by
biggest-
before then?
The biggest eye roll.
Eat fantastico tacos.
So, my mistake. You have 5 minutes
oh,
because you're Harmony 6, right?
No, I passed all of mine, so I'm still 7.
You had 1 minute then.
oh,
10
changes
minutes.
that interaction.
10 minutes is how long you death rage.
Okay. So I wouldn't do all of this then if that was the case. So if we would know better.
You've got a minute.
But I'll basically get
The
who
timer
are
goes
you?
down.
Right. Who are you? When do you meet? And
Luna,
what are you doing?
We meet every night as the sun begins to go down,
Noted.
so that we can worship your mother, the moon.
How do you know? Why do you think I am one of the children of the moon?
Because I see you for what you are.
Noted.
And a few of the other people that are bowing go, for the first time, Luna, I see it too. Good. And she puts her hands on them and goes, because you are truly blessed.
All right.
GTFO.
Yeah, GTFO.
You feel it's coming. You're like,
if you'll excuse me, I need to go and take care of something. And
okay.
I'm gone.
Okay.
Also, you're gonna not want to get near any of us, or you could drag us into.
Where do you head to?
Can you pop sideways? Or it's not slipping sideways in this, is it?
Yes, you could. It would take time.
You'd have to find a locus first.
You have to find a locus.
Yeah. You have to,
So what I'm going to do is basically.
You need me to explain what all's around you?
Yeah, let's go there.
Okay. So you are in the midpoint of the back of a strip mall. It will take more than your remaining time to get back to your truck.
Mm-hmm.
And then that would leave you frenzying in the middle of a parking lot. You could jump into the back door of any of these businesses. We could see where that goes. Behind the strip mall are some green grass hills that lead down to the highway.
Oh yeah, there you go. Frenzy into the highway. That's a good idea.
The other direction past the lady leads further into Cedar Falls. It initially goes to a residential area and eventually the campus. That's where you are.
Can he frenzy in a dumpster? Is that allowed?
There are dumpsters.
If he can find a dumpster, and assuming he isn't powerful enough to destroy the dumpster.
I have bad news, everybody.
Oh no.
I'm not as good at spooky as at that. So, but once you hit Gauru, you're gonna be strong enough to start destroying a dumpster regardless. Okay, so does one of these businesses appear to be like a warehouse or someplace that would not be open at whatever o'clock this is?
Or one of those for lease, doesn't have anything in it.
Right. Because that's what I'm looking for. Actually,
I'm gonna come out of the taco joint at this point with tacos for everybody and be like,
and
where'd Uncle Ben go?
Yeah.
You know what? This is especially bad because if anyone else was in the situation, Uncle Ben could shut it down.
Right.
Well, this is going to be I'm going to find. So once I get this answer, David, my goal is to send the dog to go get Chloe and the others, because it will be able to get back to me. It will know where I am. It can find me.
Fair. So yes. Three doors down from where you are. So there's the church, there's the taco place, and then there's a building that is for lease.
Okay, we're going to go in there and hopefully stay inside.
That's perfect. I can help you with that.
Making a strength plus brawl.
Strength plus brawl?
Yep.
Okay.
Uncle Ben is losing his shit somewhere.
So, question for somebody who's newer to this system. You said that he could draw other ones of us into frenzy?
Yes.
Or something?
That's his auspice ability.
Well, no.
Turn on or turn off.
When you're in death rage and you're near your packmates, you'll put your other packmates at risk of falling into death rage.
Okay, but he's... What auspice is he?
I'm the same as you. So
I was about to say, don't I have that ability too?
Yes, you do.
Oh, yes.
Well,
you can solve this.
I was like, I think that's how that works.
Yeah. So he sent the dog to go get you because you guys chose a good auspice to double up.
Okay. Well, I also have all doors locked. Not that that's super useful right now, but
okay. So yes, you managed to pull that door open. And you bark the command to the dog.
Yep.
The dog runs off. You go in. Do you pull the door closed behind you?
Yes. Pulling the door closed. I'm not going to bar it, but I am going to immediately look around to see. As
There's
far
some
as this,
shelving.
there's some shelving. Okay. What type of visual does this have to the front of the building?
There are cheap plastic like blinds down in front of the windows. The front door is see-through glass.
Okay. The shelving unit is going to go in front of that door.
Okay.
But
Okay.
while I have my mental faculties to do it.
Okay. You think, keeping in mind that like you now have busted the lock on the back door, you think the best place to delay you for a moment would be to jump into the bathroom and like close and lock that door?
I will go ahead and do that then.
Okay, cool. So, and then that's about the point where you lose yourself. The dog comes running up as James and Logan are holding bags of tacos and burritos for people. And Logan's like, hey guys, like James and I were sniffing around. We don't think it's the taco place.
Yeah,
And the dog-
they're good tacos, but they're not that good.
I swear
I
to God.
have some very bad news about this church.
Yeah, I figured. I have some bad news about it too.
So the
And the dog runs up.
the dog runs up and it's like, it's what Harris Waldo said in the chat. What is it, Lassie? Is Uncle Ben losing his shit?
That's what I was gonna say. It was like Uncle Ben falling into a well. Oh my God.
Okay, I know several of you have
A
it.
well of rage.
Do one of you have the ability to talk to animals?
No, you don't.
I think it's
Nope.
Ender and Anthony. And
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
me and
it
Anthony that
doesn't. It
do.
doesn't really matter because we know that dog well enough as part of our pack that I think we would
you
just
do.
follow it.
You also know that because I have Packkin as the gift and it's been used on the dog at one point, you instinctually have the ability to talk to it and understand it.
Okay,
That's a thing that it has.
I literally will just take off after the dog. I don't even ask
Cool.
questions.
Everybody else follow the dog?
I'm gonna throw my bag of tacos at Lucas and follow the dog.
Okay. Lucas is holding all the tacos, running behind all of you. As you run around the back. Everybody that's not Ender can give me a perception check as you come around the corner.
Does it take us around the back or does it take us to the front door?
It takes you around the back.
Okay.
Because
That's fine. I
saw
just
Uncle Ben enter through that door.
3 successes, and I'm going to burn my inspired on this to
You
make that
got
exception.
1, 3.
Oh, holy
12,
crap.
15.
that's 4 successes.
Okay, John.
David, I got no successes, and I'm going to take the botch on that one.
Okay.
My
so,
dice do not like me this evening.
Everyone,
apparently, or this morning,
except for
apparently.
James, sees a like late 30s, early 40s, middle like woman with pale blonde hair in priestly robes that is watching as you all come around the corner. She is far away from where you are, but she gives you like this like prayer like bow as she sees you all turn. It's very weird.
Don't care.
James sees like a shining like saint. Like she seems to be radiating something. And then she walks into the door she's standing by and closes it. The dog takes you to a door closer than where she is. The door is not like sealed, and you guys can hear from inside the too familiar sounds of roaring and pounding on the walls. As the bathroom door is beginning to like
Buckle.
bust up its hinges. Or hinges.
I'm gonna throw the door open.
Okay.
The rest of us should keep our
Ben
distance.
in death rage, standing over you.
Cool.
You activate
Okay.
your thing.
Yes, I activate the thing.
Okay. What's the opposed on that?
For the shut off, there is no opposed. It's just
like they only get to do it like once a session or something like that. Okay, cool. So looks at Uncle Ben and is like, calm down.
Hakuna your tatas. Boom.
Sit, boy.
Inuyasha, sit.
So Uncle Ben
Nice.
begins to control his breathing, begins to shift back down to his default human shape. And you're back in control. And the dog's giving you concerned like head cuddles to the leg.
Good boy, Duke. Also, that fucking.
Is it safe to come in yet?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
What
Okay.
happened?
Yeah, no,
They're
seriously.
worshiping. They're worshiping us. They're worshiping the moon, and whatever that person thing can do, I wanted to rip it apart.
I mean, I
I
kind
wanted to
of
rip her apart.
I kind of want to rip her apart now too. But you know what's around the church? Loons. Lots of loons.
That explains a lot.
The wounds.
I look at Logan and I'm like, do you understand what that means?
Yeah, crazy moon spirits.
I mean, crazy moon spirit is a little redundant.
You know,
but
now that you bring it up, members of those church were outside as we left the taco place talking about the religion. I suppose I did meet them at the same time.
so we
They
just
can see us.
we just
They know what we are.
saw a lady in priest robes. Do I need to go grab her?
I give the description of the lady. Does she look like this?
Yep.
Big
Yes.
shining lady?
What?
I'm going to go with she and her cult are the problem.
Yeah.
How would you like to resolve this?
We talk to your pack is what we do. We are past the point of solving this individually. This is now a problem with your territory, not just with you. And this is no longer our, and she points to our pack, problem.
Though,
Okay.
I mean, we can still help them. but-
I'm not saying we
yes.
won't help, but I am saying that it's time for you to nut up and tell your fucking pack.
Okay.
What she said.
Yes, you're right. You're right. And he goes, should. Okay. And he puts the bags of tacos down and pulls out his cell phone and like calls somebody.
I take a taco and I eat it.
That's
I
good.
hate it. The taco.
Angrily.
Oh, so how much
Angry
damage
taco eating.
did
Nom, nom,
Uncle
nom.
Ben manage to do before he was shut down?
Oh, that bathroom be fucked up. Like it. You might want to point out to Logan that his pack needs to call those cleanup people, because if it was just like he knocked the sink off or whatever, that would be one thing. But there are thick claw marks just down the tiles.
Spooky will put up an out of order sign.
Yes. So yeah.
If we burn
Okay.
it down, there's no evidence.
But when I mention destroying a bathroom, that is not the thing that normally comes to mind.
You haven't had the tacos yet.
While Logan's on phone, make me a perception check, all of you.
That's a
I'm
negatory.
gonna.
3, nothing,
4.
4.
No, I got no successes again.
No.
I'm not going to take a botch, though, because I'm pretty sure this is still the same scene.
It's really the same scene, yeah. Uncle Ben dropped his dice.
I did, yes. 4 successes.
Okay, so Chloe, Jim, and Uncle Ben, you noticed that there are a few people that are like trying to look in through the glass door, as it does occur to you that the wall of that bathroom is shared with the taco place. So there's just like a few people just like looking in.
I'm gonna go out the door and just be like, they're just doing construction. There's people considering renting the place. Don't worry about it.
Okay, make like a manipulation subterfuge.
I'm gonna spend a willpower because my dice have been crappy today.
It's a good time for it.
I kind of wanted to roll a failure so I could get a beat.
6 successes.
Suck, will you?
Jesus. Okay, so yeah, the college kids are like, oh, okay. Well, we were in the booth next door, and somebody was like, I don't know, using some industrial equipment or something. So I guess that explains it. Have a good night. And they walk away.
Evening.
All
I'm
right.
gonna take inspired
Are we
again
gonna meet
because
your
I'm so
pack
good.
somewhere?
Okay, he gets off the phone. He goes, yeah, the pack's willing to meet. They'll just come here to the parking lot, and we can decide.
No.
what to do.
No, we're not going to bring more of us in range of them. That is a bad idea. Pick someplace else.
He joins a group chat he's got with his pack.
We just looks at him and then looks at the rest of us like, is that unreasonable?
Okay, we're gonna go to a park. It's
Okay.
about 10 minutes drive away.
Is
Okay.
there a check to figure out how he's survived this long?
Okay, so you guys jump in the car. You go over to a park not too far away, and all of the Panthers pack is there. You have all met them before. There's Logan, Robin, Frank, Adam, and Dave. They cover conveniently all the auspices and all the tribes. Yeah. And so they look around and they're like, okay, so we're dealing with some sort of cult that worships us?
I'm going to look at Logan.
And Logan's like, yeah. Hey, guys, have any of you been losing track of yourself and going on sacred hunts that you didn't agree to? And they all kind of look around. And all four of them are like, yeah, we thought I was the only one.
Oh my God. First off, y'all need a therapist or a counselor.
All right. Spooky, I think at this point is popping into soft rage.
Right. At this point, all of you guys are in black, and I get a spotlight and go, "Hi, this is David Fuller from Blood in the Soil. Communication is key for successful relationships."
Chloe's like, oh my God. Okay. So
I'm gonna go break something. See you in a bit.
yeah, go break something for me too, please, Spooky. Thanks. So
Plenty to break randomly in the park.
So there's a church.
Mm-hmm.
This particular church is housing a cult. I don't know if every member of the church is part of the cult or that it's just a small subsection thereof. This church has a lot of branches. A lot of their religious doctrine, I guess you could say, makes references to the moon and to wolves. There was a priest outside. I'm assuming Ben filled us in on all of this while we were driving. There was a
Yep.
outside, because we communicate like a normal fucking pack. There's a priest outside who was able to not only identify what Ben was, but also popped him into angry furry death machine mode.
I mean, I mentioned this briefly when we were back at the empty place. Did no one else notice that she was big and glowing?
No. You're the only person who noticed that.
Yeah, did not notice that.
So I don't know, because she only had a small group of followers outside, it makes me seem like that potentially that cult is a subsection thereof. But because you all met them at the taco joint when you went, they potentially impacted, well, it seems like they've impacted all of you. Uncle Ben is going to need to be kept under surveillance, and because she saw every single one of us, I don't know how her abilities work, but we're all in jeopardy now.
Also,
And
she
if some-
collects loons.
Yeah.
There's also the question of how we're going to deal with them too, because they know, and they must not know.
The
But-
same way we deal with all of our problems. These hands.
Look, if
I
all I'm
think our-
saying that the taco shop is really good and it was really tasty, so I do not want to set the church on fire because there's no way to save the taco shop.
I think our first step is probably to go back to that church when there's nobody there and see what we can find
Mhm.
out.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I'm going to provide a little bit of advice on this, which is that if they can put us into the Siskoda without our control in the matter, much like they can put me into a rage, there's nothing preventing them from doing that tonight.
If we show up and
Oh no, I'm
Unannounced-
talking now, even if we're not there,
okay,
because that's what's happening to them.
well, yeah. So maybe we take some time and approach this more from the business angle, because I mean there are ways we can force them out of where they're at, but they're just going to move and find another location. Is there a way to figure out how they're affecting the Panther Pack, like through spirits or gifts or something, and a way to combat that?
Now that I have more information, can I try that check again to figure out what they might be doing?
Absolutely.
Spooky, regrettably not around to help.
Hey, 5 successes. I will take informed.
Awesome. They are performing a ritual to mind control werewolves that they're aware of. I need all of you to roll me a single die and tell me what you get on the die.
Fuck.
Does that include me?
Yes.
Remember how I said there was a thing that could happen?
Does this
Two.
die explode, David?
Nope.
Okay.
I get a 5.
7.
I got a
Oh,
10.
yeah.
Bennett?
Also got a 10.
Okay. Who here got 5 or less?
I did.
Okay, cool. So at that moment, as it's
Can I turn that into a
dawning-
dramatic failure?
No. At that moment, as Jim is putting together, okay, they're performing a ritual that controls the werewolves. Okay, I got it. At that point, Logan and Robin and Dave and Spooky and Chloe are under the effects of the Sisker Da against the manager of the taco place.
No!
Where we'll end this session.
No!
So Spooky just runs off somewhere in the distance towards the taco place.
Chloe falls to her knees and is like, "Son of a bitch!"
Oh man, that's a problem.
So, okay, let's go
Thanks.
around. Tell me, what your thoughts are right now, and if you've got anything to promote, go ahead and do it. Spooky?
Real name Jeremy. You can currently see me for at least another week, I think, on the Onyx Path channel with the Hometown Heroes Hunter the Vigil 2nd Edition stream, because that Kickstarter is still ongoing. And I love 2nd Edition Death Rage rules. They're real fun.
Sarah, thoughts?
Fuck this ex-boyfriend of mine. I should have just killed him when I had the chance. My name is Sarah. I have no internet presence other than Facebook, so I have nothing to promote. Go forth.
John?
My name's John. I also have very little internet presence at the moment. Why, David? Why?
Those tacos are innocent.
The tacos are innocent.
Yeah,
They don't
come on,
hurt.
man. Those are good tacos.
All right. Ender. Thoughts?
So I go by Ender Astreus on the wide world of the internet. I always recommend, taking a look at new things out there. So I tend to host my friends who do streaming. So please go to my channel to go to their channels. For example, Vaden Streams, Gehenna Gaming is a cool place to start off and take a look at, as well as Gamer Behind the Row, because you got stuff going on too. And then in addition to that, fuck. That's all I got to say to that. Fuck.
Okay. Dennis.
Hey, Dennis. Again, the tacos have done nothing wrong and don't deserve the Siskerdai declared against them. I don't have a lot of internet presence, at least not until we get Scion back underway here, which will be coming, I believe, in the spring.
That's
But I would like to promote my good friend David Fuller, who will be running a Dystopian Rising game here very, very soon.
very soon, either starting next week or the week afterwards. Absolutely. And that segues to me. I'm David Fuller. Behind the Rose is a Randall Flagg reference. Good job. There's a representation of him right over my shoulder.
Mhm.
And so I right now just do Forsaken. Starting either this Tuesday or next Tuesday, I will advertise everywhere that I am on social media. We will do session 0 of Dystopian Rising. That is going to be Tuesday evenings, and I will make sure people know the exact times on that. Starting in the spring, if you remember on the Onyx Path channel, Athens, Ohio, the Scion stream I ran, I have the rights to do that from now on this channel. I have the permission from Onyx Path. So I will be running season 2 of that in the spring. Otherwise, check my content out on DriveThruRPG. Please follow this channel. We're only a few follows away from being able to unlock cool stuff. And consider backing me on Patreon. It's just patreon.com/gamerbehindtherose, and you will be able to do things like name NPCs, or if you do certain tiers, you'll be able to do polls to decide who to screw over. And every tier includes access to a Discord that's really quiet right now. So come join and bug these people, ask them questions about their characters and stuff. Otherwise, thanks to everyone for joining, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.